Hi there, I am back with the round 2 recap in World Open. Today I was playing against Clasby Derek 2277 rating. I have never played before, so it was our first game and he didn't really have many games, so I didn't know what to expect. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and I knew that he plays e4. I was like, let me play e5 and let's see what he has. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Rui Lopez opening b5, bishop b3, and castle. This is an invitation for martial variation, which is c3. Black sacrifices the pawn. I have played against. I haven't played like. I had some games, but not against top players. Most players go for anti-martial, which is h a4, h3, this kind of lines. So I think nowadays c3 is less popular than this too. Anyway, he goes h3, I go bishop b7, knight d3, d6, a3. This is a well-known theory. Knight c3, rook f8, and then he plays knight to d5. I have had a blitz game in World Rapid and Blitz against Eric Hansen. In that game, I played this move, which was a bad one because knight doesn't do anything, and white already created this square for the bishop, just bishop a2, and the knight is out of the game. So that was a bad idea. This time I played the right move, rook f8, and then here he was taking time, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna play knight d5. And after knight d5, what am I gonna do? And he did play. So here I spent 10 minutes because usually this is a nice opening, very solid. But the problem is that, um, you know, I usually play this line against very strong players, so I am happy with the draw. But when I am playing against 2277, draw is not the result that I am looking for. So at this point, I was a little bit annoyed because I was afraid that if I take d5, he takes the bishop. That's why I was looking moves like h6 here. But then I was like, in the worst case scenario, even he still can take and play bishop d5. So I wasn't sure what to do. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna play the best move, which is knight takes d5, obviously. And to my surprise, that he did not take bishop d5, but he played e takes d5. I went for knight a7. This is an interesting idea. Here, I think other move is knight d8 and knight d4. Obviously, I didn't really want to play knight d4 because it's a simplification. Knight a7 is a nice idea. So here he goes d4, and I spent quite some time here, eb, queen d4, and played c5. There is only one game between Nakamura and Dingleren in Singford Cup, so this should be good. DC, knight c6, and he plays queen d3. Initially, I was thinking that I would have a nice knight a5 move here, because if he goes bishop a2, then I can play maybe knight c4 or bishop f6, great position. Then soon I realized that he has a knight d5. But then I was calculating, okay, bishop h4, knight d7, rook e1, king here. Maybe I have some game in this position and taking f2. For instance, cb, bishop f2. Perhaps it's not that easy for white to play. Actually, yeah, now I look at the engine lines. Black, maybe white should be a bit maybe careful, but white is much better after queen f5 then. But then I soon realized that, you know what, he doesn't need to play knight knight e5. He can start with bishop f7, king f7, and now after knight e5 I'm completely lost because after de, queen is hanging. Luckily I had this strong move. I mean, I was feeling like there would be other moves too. I did notice bishop f6 when I played c5 too, but I was hoping that knight a5 would work. Anyways, bishop f6, and only here my opponent played a different move than Nakamura. In that game, Nakamura Dingleren, bishop d2 was played, knight e5, takes, and soon after some moves, the game ended in a draw. Here, my first move, somewhat inaccuracy, bishop f4, and now I played a strong move, knight to a5. And in this position, he spent a bit of a time. I was afraid of knight g5, bishop g5 about this position, because I mean, there is not much I can. I mean, I would have played as they say in chess till the morning this position. Obviously, I would play something like, let's say, queen to f5. Let's say bishop goes to h4. Then maybe bishop comes to e4, annoying him to play. Yeah, overall, but objectively it is just draw. Luckily, my opponent plays inaccurate move, rook a d1, and here I take b3. Apparently taking e1 first would have been better choice, because now knight d1 looks very bad, because there's no square for the knight. In the game I took b3, queen b3, and then rook e1. Apparently he could have taken knight d1, although I was evaluating this position well for me, and I don't know why would anyone take with knight. So rook e1 was played, and I played nice move, h6, created a loop for the king, and I have two bishops, great position. My opponent plays a strong move, rook e3, with the idea that he wanted to play c3, so the b2 pawn wouldn't hang, but every time I had bishop f3 idea. So he plays rook e3, I play another good move, rook to e8. I understood that I can sacrifice this pawn. Only here I made a slight inaccuracy. This move was looking very appealing to me, because I have queen d1, fork idea. Also, I keep pressure on these pawns, but actually that's a little bit inaccurate. I should have played queen to e4. The idea is that now if he plays bishop g3, I have a strong move, bishop d5, which in the game I did want to play. And if white plays c3, then I go queen b1 check, king h2, queen d3, bishop g3, a5. And this position I was trying to get in the game. Look at this. So I play queen e2, he plays bishop g3, and here I did spend quite a long time, because I realized that bishop e4 doesn't work because of knight d5, queen d1, king h2, bishop e4, then again knight d5. This is a very big problem, and when I play bishop d5, he can play queen d3, and this is just equal. So here I played a sneaky move, a5. A5, it is hard to understand what's the idea, but the idea is that if he plays c3, I was gonna play queen to d3. That's the funny part. That's why, you know, if you remember, after queen e4, c3, I could have reached to this position, but now white apparently has knight e1, which I might have not noticed. So anyways, in this position he plays king h2, I play a4, queen b4, bishop f3, gf, queen c2, and queen b5, bishop b2. Here I was very optimistic about my position. This similar position, I mean not so similar, but in the world European Team Championship, I missed such a great position against Lodico Lorenzo. Oh man, I thought that I already set up the position to show you what I was gonna talk. This position, yeah. Anyways, so I felt like this is a similar kind of position, although in that game, white shows me as a white. I was black. I flipped. It doesn't flip the name, but I am the black. Okay, I will keep like that. So I am black, and in this position I should have just pushed the pawn and win the game. And here I played such a terrible move, like queen e7, because here I took this stupid pawn and he played f3. I lost a5, and I didn't win the game. So I felt like this position looks like a similar as that. I'm gonna win a3 pawn, and this time I was so determined to push the pawn till the end. I was like, I don't care, I'm not gonna get any pawn whatsoever. So here he goes queen e8 check, king h7, and queen e7. And my attitude was like that, just take the pawn and push, but apparently f5 would have been a much stronger move here. King g2 and then bishop d4. I should have tried to win this position slowly, although engine doesn't give winning much. So I play queen b3, goes queen e4, g6, and here finally he makes a big mistake. I did notice that he has this queen e8 move, but I was like, okay, I go bishop g7, and then next move I take. But the problem is that here I take, he takes, I play, let's say, queen c5. I mean, The problem is that it will not be easy for me to push the pawn because his bishop is gonna come and help. That was the issue, but overall, yeah, position looked at least losing. Instead, he played f4. He wanted to open up my king, but he is not on time, and this is another mistake. But the position was already hard, and here I put the queen a1. As I said, from the previous game, I learned my lesson. Put the queen in a1 and push the pawn and queen. And here he tried his last chance by playing f4. I mean, to play f5. If I play a3, he plays f5. If I take, there is some queen f3, and suddenly it's not that simple anymore. But I played bishop d4. I used the fact that king is weak. So for instance, if you play something like queen a6, I just go queen g1, check, you know, and queen f3, bishop here, and the bishop comes to f2, and this is lost. Instead, he goes queen f3. I play queen b1, so stop f5. He plays anyway. I give a check first to put his king in a worse square, and then take, and then I pushed. And here my opponent resigned. Overall was, I think, very interesting game from a strategical point of view. I am happy that when I was feeling like it's going like an opening part, I played the most principal line, and I think that should be the right approach. I should never give my opponents any chance for advantage, and I feel like when lower rated players lose their chance to play for win, their strength goes down. So this is what happened, I feel like, in this game. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will see you soon. Take care.